Assalamualaikum, I'm Arfa Akhlaq and welcome to Fried and Tasted. All the recipes here are tried and tested. So today we are on to the fourth part of the cake decoration series. If you haven't seen the previous videos, you can find the link of them in the description below. So today we are going into the cake decoration, the actual cake decoration. So like I said before in my first video itself, I am not a professional cake artist and I have never ever taken a baking class before. So my workflow might be different, the way I'm decorating it might be different, and but this is how I do. This is how I have learned from my personal experience and from watching YouTube videos, and this is how I feel comfortable in making it. And this is what I am going to teach you. So today we will see how to make buttercream flowers and also how to write on them. So I'm going to tell you how to make three kinds of flowers. First is the regular roses, the second is wild roses, or they're also called like cherry blossom flowers, and the second is how to make chrysanthemum. I'll be using 3 tips in making it, and also I'll tell you how to put leaves in between the bunch of flowers, and I'll also tell you some life-changing tips and tricks on how to make this work very easy. And also we'll see how to finally beautifully write on the cake. If you like this video, you have to press the like button, share it with all the baking enthusiasts, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Also comment and let me know if you enjoyed this cake decoration series and if you want me to do more series like this. And now let's actually there are no ingredients as such, so now just start decorating the cake.
Like any other art, making flowers on cake also needs a comfortable space around you. So now we will see how to pipe colorful frosting into a piping bag. It is slightly different. I mean, you can do it the same way you do the plain ones, but I prefer this one as this one is more handy. So you can see that I have spread a cling wrap, and on top of that I have placed some yellow frosting, and then I'll just fold and seal the cling wrap by twisting and turning it around like this. And here I'll take a piping bag and cut the tip. Just make a rough cut. And now I will show you how to use a coupler. Coupler comes very handy because by using coupler you can replace and change the nozzle or tip whenever you want and with whatever shape you want. So here I have inserted my coupler, the first part of the coupler. And now I'm placing this piping bag inside it. To bring it towards the tip, I'll just pull the extra part of the cling wrap. This way the frosting will come till the tip, and then I'll just cut whatever excess is there. So now if I want to replace it with another color, I can just simply take it out and put another cling wrap inside it. I've sealed the edge with a back clipper, and now whatever nozzle I want I can put, and then if I want the other nozzle I can just replace it and put the other one. So here is how to use a coupler. Put the nozzle and then seal it with the other part of the coupler. And now our piping bag is ready. This way I'll prepare the other colors too. So here I have prepared pink, yellow and blue piping bag. Here I have some small square cut parchment paper that I have cut from before, and I have a napkin to keep wiping my nozzle for a clean work. Here is a flower nail, which is very important for making flowers. So I will start with putting a teeny bit of frosting on the flower nail, and I'll stick the parchment paper on it so that it does not move and it remains stick. And now I will show you how to hold my piping bag. So I'm using Wilton 104 here. I'm holding it in such a way that the broader part is at the bottom and the narrow part is at the top, and I'll just put a small base of the flower, and then I'll start making the inside of the flower by just turning my flower nail in anti-clockwise direction like this. So if I am a right-hander, I'll hold the piping bag in my right hand and control my flower nail with the left hand. So instead of moving my right hand a lot, I will concentrate more on rotating my left hand more because that is easier. So first I will make 3 petals around the inside bud. So now you can see that I have already made a small bud, and now for the second layer I'll put 5 petals around it like this. So you can see that like the motion of my right hand is same and my left hand is just twisting gradually to make the flower. So here first rose is ready. And now we will see how to make a wild rose or a cherry blossom flower. So I'll do the same thing. I'll stick my parchment paper and put a small base for the flower. For this flower I'm using Wilton 101, which looks pretty much same like 104, but it's little smaller in size. And now you can see that I am making small petals around this base like this. This is a very easy flower, so if you're a beginner, this is a good one to start off. So again, I'm holding it in the same way with broader side at the bottom and the narrow part at the top, and I'm spreading it around, and the motion of my left hand is same, that I'm just twisting it and I'm making the flowers with my right hand. And now I'll just glide it and put it on my cake board. Here is the third flower, chrysanthemum. For it I'm using Wilton 81. So I'll use the same technique, stick my parchment paper and make the base for the flower. For this technique I'll just push the frosting a little bit and then pull it up like this. So you can see this one is also pretty easy. Just press it and then push it from the top. So hold your piping bag in such a way that it is at the top, pointing towards the flower. So you just have to press the frosting a little and then just pull it off the flower. So you can see, like, you can make as big as you want or you can make as small. You can fill in the gaps if you feel any. And this flower is also ready. I'll gently glide it off the flower nail and place it on my cake board. Because of couplers, if I want to make blue rose now, I can simply take off the nozzle from the pink one and place it on the blue and seal the coupler. That is why couplers are so important while making flowers. So here I'll be making pink chrysanthemum. So you can see there is still a little bit of yellow left in the nozzle, which actually works even better because I can get dual shade flowers here. So in this chrysanthemum I'm making a little bit difference. So what I'm doing, that instead of pulling the petals on top, I'm pulling it sideways. So it's like chrysanthemum is even more bloomed. So you can make a variety of techniques. You can even press it more inside or more outside. Anyway, we can make a variety of flowers, and this is other one ready here. And here I'm making another kind of flower. For this I'm using the same tip that I used for making the big rose and holding it in the same way with bottom side broader and the tip side on top. And I made it the same way like I did for the white rose, but there'll be slight difference. Here I'll take a yellow piping bag with a very small hole nozzle, and then I'll just make stamens from it like this. And you can see that another kind of flower is also ready. And once again I'll show you how to make a rose. Make sure your tip is clean, and I'll hold my piping bag in my dominating hand, which for me is my right hand, and hold the flower nail in my left hand. I'll simply make small strokes and make petals from my right hand by simply rotating my flower nail anti-clockwise. So you can see that very gently I'm using the thumb of my left hand to rotate the flower nail and pressing very gently from my right hand on the piping bag to make the petals. This time I'm making the last layer of the petal a little broader and giving it a more open flower look. So of course you can do a lot of variations, make variety of combinations, because that is how nature is with variations. And this flower is also ready. And now I'll place this cake board in my freezer. In the meanwhile, I'll prepare some other flowers with different combinations of the same 3 colors and same 3 tips. I have transferred my cake to a bigger cake board, and here I'll make a border around my cake. For that I'm using Wilton 12, which is just a big hole nozzle. And for this border, it's a very simple one. I'm simply rotating the cake board towards me and I'm pressing my piping bag a little to take out a little bit of frosting and then just pull it towards me. This way I'll continue and make it all around the cake, and here my border is done. And here comes my favorite part, which is to bring life to this cake. So I have taken the flowers out of the freezer, and the most important thing is to make a rough draft of what you want to do. So what I am planning is to make a crescent shape, and in the concave of the crescent I will be writing my note. So with the help of a cake ring, I'll make a rough draft. So if you are making the flowers around the cake, you can have a rough, you should have a rough idea of what you are doing. So since these flowers are frozen, I will just pick them up with my hand, remove the parchment paper, put some frosting at the back of the flower and place it on the cake. So this frosting at the back of the flower acts as a glue. So you can make a variety of combination in here, place any flower wherever you want. Use your imagination, use your creativity, and repeat the process of putting some frosting at the back of the flower and placing it in any way you want. You can also place some of them at the edge, some in the center, and once you are satisfied that you have put enough flowers, you don't have to overdo it. If you think this much is enough, you can stop it, and whatever gap is left in between, fill it with leaves. So for leaves, I'm using Wilton 67, and it's very easy to make leaves with this nozzle. You just have to press and pull, as simple as this, and you can get the leaf shape in itself. This nozzle is actually very good. So wherever there is any gap, just fill it in. That is how the nature works too. Flowers look beautiful with leaves around it. So the more leaves you make, the better it looks. And now here I think my flower part is done. And now we will see how to write on the cake. For it, I'm using the same nozzle that I used to make stamens, which is Wilton 3. And for writing on the cake, it is very, very important to first practice it on the parchment paper. And if you are new to writing on the cake, it's always better to write with bold uppercase letters, separate letters first, and then only once you think you are fluent enough in writing, you can join and write in cursive way or whatever font that you think you are good with. But if you're if you're writing it on a parchment paper first, it's always better. It makes you practice, and whatever frosting is on the parchment paper, you can just scrape it and reuse it. So here now I will start writing on my cake. So I'm going it very slowly. You can also support your writing hand with the other hand by holding the base of your palm a little, so that you have more control on your writing hand. So my writing in general is not at all very good. So whether I write it on a cake or on a paper, it's not going to look very, very good. So this is something that I'm telling you from beforehand itself. So anyway, if you read it, I think you'll be able to read here. I have written happy anniversary. So the writing part is done as well. I am not yet done with flowers. I had this idea from before itself. So the idea was to put some flowers on the opposite side of the crescent. I'm using the same technique to put some frosting at the back of the flower and then place it on the cake. So if you have liked this cake decoration series, if you think that this has been helpful and you have learned something or the other from this cake decoration series, make sure to comment in the comment section below and let me know about it, because this helps me to keep going and trying more things for you and coming up with some creative ideas. Anyways, so there were some flowers left, so my dear husband gave me this idea to make this flowy flower effect, and it turned out so amazing. Here goes the last flower here, and I'm putting some leaves all over it to make it more natural. And finally, my beautiful gorgeous cake is ready. I think this is one of the most beautiful cake that I have ever made. All the credit goes to you all for always encouraging me. Thank you.